Hey YouTube! This may or may not be my last meal prep before TikTok gets banned. Naturally, I'm coming over to YouTube. Each week I meal prep a cold foam, a breakfast, a lunch, and some silly little treats. Eating easier during my work week. Got to the grocery store late, and so I got started late. That's okay. Getting everything I meal prepped mapped on the board. This just makes it easier to just look over and see what I have left to do. And this is going to be a silly kind of goofy week. I had some kind of wild ideas. So let's jump into it. First, I'm putting some eggs aside so that they can get to be room temperature. This is going to be for some Pavlova. But before we get into that, I'm going to start on making a cold foam. My son's been obsessed with fluffer nutters, and I thought this would be a great cold foam flavor. Using peanut butter, marshmallow fluff, and a little bit of banana pudding. Throwing that all into a jar with some heavy cream. My tool of choice is the immersion blender. I'm going to blend that until it's extra thick. I love prepping cold foam because you could keep it in the fridge for like 3 to 4 days. And I can't have my coffee without it now. I absolutely love starting with the easiest thing. We're already crossing things off the board. Reheating the oven for some granola. I'm going to do honey lavender. This is going to go on top of the yogurt Pavlova bowls. So first I'm infusing some honey with some lavender. That's going to go on the stove. It simmer and then stir and then just put it aside to let it cool. While that's happening, I'm going to start the base of the granola. Using some oats I had and some oatmeal packs because why not? Putting in about a half a cup of the lavender honey, really measuring with my heart there. And I'm going to mix in about half a cup of coconut oil, a little bit of salt, give that a mix. I also threw a little bit of hemp seeds in because why not? Once it was all blended together, I put it on a sheet pan with some parchment paper, 350 for 10 to 12 minutes is the plan, but I overdid it a bit. I set the timer for 15 minutes and that was a bit too long. It came out a little overdone, but I'm going to eat it anyway. Peeling some sumo oranges for one of my favorite silly little treats. I usually dip these in dark chocolate, but I thought I'd switch things up today. Melted some white chocolate chips with some coconut oil. Then added in a little bit of matcha and gave that a stir. Look how pretty that is. Then took my sumo orange slices and dipped those into the white chocolate and set them out on the sheet pan. Once these little cuties were done, I put them in the fridge for the white chocolate to get solid. Not wait to try those. Turning down the temp on the oven to 245 for the Pavlova. But before we get started on that, I need a silly little drink. And today I'm going to make a little Shirley Temple, but using orange cream poppy. So let's see how that goes. A little bit of cherry juice and some cherries in the bottom of the cup and then the orange cream. Now that my granola is cool, I'm going to salvage what isn't too burnt and put it into a jar and store it away in my pantry. Getting that crossed off the board as well. And I'm going to start chopping up the veggies for the tuna salad, making the viral tunacado sandwich. So I'm prepping the tuna salad with celery, onion, and some chopped pickled jalapenos. Draining that tuna. Then I'm going to add in a little bit of Kewpie mayo, some Dijon mustard, salt, pepper, garlic powder. Give that a little mix. Tuna salad is such a great lunch meal prep because it's so easy to just throw together. That's all done and going in the fridge, but not without a little taste test first. And now we're going to get started on the Pavlova. Separating my egg whites and egg yolks. My sister and I made Pavlova for the first time on Christmas and I haven't stopped thinking about it. I had this idea to make Pavlova yogurt bowls for breakfast. Getting my egg whites and sugar mixed up in the KitchenAid, blending it carefully to make sure we hit stiff peaks. Then getting that spooned out onto my baking sheet. The fun thing about Pavlova is it's prettier, kind of the messier it is. Dolloping it out and then using the back of the spoon to push up to make these little edges. Then it bakes for 80 to 90 minutes at 245. But the longest part about it is that it has to sit in the oven until it's completely cooled. So we have a lot of time for those. While we wait, I'm going to pack up my matcha orange slices, put those back in the fridge, and then do some dishes and edit some content while I wait for the Pavlova. In hindsight, I should have started with the Pavlova first, but I had to wait for room temperature eggs, so here we are. Dishes are done and got a jump start on actually editing this video. And took a little snack break with some more Real Housewives. Pavlova is done and now it's cooling in the oven. The pavlova cool while I made dinner and then ate dinner. And about 90 minutes later, my pavlova were cooled, and so I wrapped them up. Storing them was going to be the trickiest part, and I saw online that I should wrap them up and put them in the freezer, so we'll see how that goes. We did it. My first YouTube meal prep is done. Bye!